Hello there. I'm here to talk to you about the keys to a successful year. We all have an opportunity to create a life we love. We don't get a choice about it. We are, in essence, creative beings. The question then becomes, am I going to create my life by design or by default? Default would be repeating the same patterns over and over again. And design is where we say to this blank slate of this new year, let there be. Let's have a design in a way that I would love. This is an opportunity to create a vision for a life you would love. And I'm sharing some specific tips on how to create that life from your vision. But before I do, I want to introduce myself. I'm Wendy Johnson, a life coach, and I help women take their good life and make it extraordinary by creating a life they love on purpose with more joy, confidence, and less overwhelm and stress. So let's get started. How do you create a vision for a life you would love? Well, the first question that we're going to work with is, what would you love? What would I love? What would I love is such a highly calibrated question, and it's so different than the questions that most people ask ourselves. We typically ask ourselves, what am I capable of? What do I have enough education for? What do I have time for? Based on my experience, what should I do? We look at the opinions of others to get feedback as we're setting our goals for the year. But back to the question, what would I love? It really gives you permission to allow your imagination to run free and to create what you would really love. And it gives you permission to dream like when you were a kid. You had so many dreams. And the key to this is to give yourself permission to put the how on hold. That's what holds most people back, is not knowing how they're going to do it. So oftentimes we don't want to create that goal or that vision because we just don't know how to create it. But I'm here to tell you that it's essential in creating a vision for a life you would love is just to be willing to put the how on hold. So imagine with me, it's December 31st of this year, and you have lived an incredible, extraordinary year, and you've achieved some really big results in your health. You've had some wonderful new relationships. You've deepened your connection and intimacy. You're doing work in the world that you're passionate and it's purposeful. And you have this freedom with your time and your money. Just imagine what's happening in your life. What are those results? So that is the first thing you want to do, is to put the permission on hold. The second tip I have for you is the clearer you are with the picture and you come from the end in mind. Highly successful people always come from the end in mind. They know where they're going, they know what they want, and they have a clear picture of the end result. This is the key. When you know where you're headed, when you'll see different opportunities, you'll see different resources, you'll meet people that you would have missed if you didn't have that destination in mind. And what if I often have people say to me, well, I don't know what I want to create this year. There's just so many things. I just can't narrow my choice down to one thing. Well, there's two things you can look at. The first one is to look at the areas of your life where you're not happy. Think about times where you feel dead or a a contraction in your heart. Maybe it's the times you're driving home to an empty house, or it's when the elevator isn't working and you have to climb up the stairs and you're winded and you're frustrated that you haven't been able to meet your health goals. Or think about the beginning of the month and you go to pay the bills and you feel this contraction and dread. Now it's your turn. Think about the areas of your life where you aren't happy. That's really important feedback to help you get clear on what you do want. Because oftentimes it's so much easier for people to think about what they don't want, what they don't like. So that's a great way to start with what you don't like and then flip the script. If you're not winded walking up the stairs, then what are you? Well, I'm easily running up the stairs. I feel vibrant and alive and energized. I have great endurance. I love my fitness level right now. You can see that what you don't want really gives you good feedback for what you do want. And so back to, we already talked about the areas of your life that you're not happy and the areas of your life that you are happy. We've talked about the end in mind and the permission to put the how on hold. So now back to the present tense. We want to work with the vision using the words I am. And often people, when they're setting goals, they think of the future. They think about one day when I will, or I'm going to, and we're leaving it for someday when. The key here is your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So the more you work with your vision in the present tense with the powerful words of I am living this life now, I am experiencing this life, it brings it into the present, and your brain is going to find ways to help you to get to that how, to get to that end in mind. So the fourth tip is to bathe your vision in gratitude, and it's the other piece of creating that vision. And it's an amazing energy that you have to have. You have to put that emotional charge in it. So you want to bathe your energy, this gratitude energy, with I'm so happy and grateful now that, and imagine and feel the emotion of how grateful you're going to be when you're in that relationship, when you're doing the work you love, when the book is published, when you're earning the money that you really deserve. And the fifth tip is to open to life even better. And this is the last tip that really is going to help support you in creating the vision you would love. And it's opening up to bigger possibilities. I often see this a lot of times with clients as they say, I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to get really specific and give too much clarity, because what if this vision is too small, or I miss out on an opportunity? So you want to end your vision with this or something better still. And it allows for the universe to really work its magic, because right now is what you can imagine in this moment, but you're open to a life that's even better. And at the end, I've had so many clients say to me, gosh, Wendy, my life is better than I ever imagined. And so you're imagining and designing a life you would love this year. And just two final quick tips for that. And one way is to look at what you're really longing for. What old dreams do you have? What dreams did you have as a kid? And so it's maybe since you wanted to write that book, you wanted to meet that person, you wanted to speak on the stage, you wanted to start that business. What is it that you're yearning? And then what is it that you're really discontent about? What do you want to let go of and replace with that longing? So you're giving yourself the freedom to expand and then the freedom to reduce those contractions so that you have more of an expansive life that you love. So just to wrap up, I shared with you the question, what would I love? And you get to decide, are you going to design by design? Are you going to live your life by design or by default? And you're going to look at the areas where you feel discontent or dread, and you're going to look at the areas that you feel expansion and yearning. And you flip that switch. If you can't think of what you want, you flip the switch and you look at what you don't want, and then you rewrite that script. So the question, when you ask the question, what would I love? There's 5 tips I gave you. Permission to put the how on hold. 2, picture the end in mind. Paint the picture of the results you would love. Number 3, you're living the life in the present tense. You're experiencing it now. Number 4, you're bathing your vision in that gratitude energy that is a high vibration emotion. And number 5, you're open to living a life that's even better. So this week, I encourage you to get clarity on your vision of a life you would love. And I have a free guide to help you, the 10 principles to design a life you love, and you can grab your copy below. I appreciate you being here, for continuing to grow yourself, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, have a great one. Here's to you and your success.